Hey everyone, it is September 5th, 2019, which means in 10 short days I will be in Morocco, North Africa for a year to teach English. I've been asked a lot of the same questions, so I wanted to go ahead and get a video out there to answer the most frequently asked questions. So I will start with why Morocco. I usually don't know how to answer this question because all I can say is it has been the Lord's plan my whole life. Starting at 8 years old, I said that I would live in Africa, and as I grew up, that never really changed. I was a senior in high school when I started learning about Morocco, and I have this picture of me pointing to Morocco, and I just had this supernatural love for the country and the culture, and I started researching like the needs of the people, specifically that only about 30% of people in the rural areas are literate, and so that really just like broke my heart. And so I went to college for my undergraduate in faith and social justice, which means I really believe that it's because of my faith that I'm able to seek out social justice. I believe that when Jesus came, he fed the hungry, he clothed people, he healed the sick, he taught them, and most importantly, he empowered them to go out and make a difference. And that's what I hope to do in my life. I really believe that education is a big way to empower people and bring about social justice. So I went and got my master's in education. But let me jump back. My senior year of undergrad, I got the chance to study abroad. I had been out of the country and doing missions trips, and I'd gone on 9 missions trips at that point. And after the last one, when I went to Romania for a summer, the Lord told me the next one would finally be to Africa. So I started researching like what study abroad programs Belmont had in Africa, and they had one in South Africa in Botswana and one in Morocco, and I just knew that it was the Lord's way of getting me there. I went and studied the language and culture, and I just felt like I was home. So I came back, got my master's in education, like I said, and now I have the opportunity to go back with the company that I studied abroad with to teach abroad. I will be teaching English in Meknes, which is about in the middle of the country. It's really close to Fez, which has the leather tanneries, and it's also close to a national park, and so I'll still get to do some hiking and the travel, and I just am very excited. Another question I get asked is, are you excited? How do you feel? Are you scared? And let me tell you, it is all the emotions. I have been diagnosed with anxiety and depression, and so as I packed up specifically from Nashville to come back to Birmingham for 2 weeks to spend time with my family, I had a lot of anxiety. I had some panic attacks as the enemy just lied and told me that this wasn't my calling, that I'm gonna be alone and isolated and people are gonna forget me, and just, you know, just an attack on God's plan for my life. And I wanted to just give up then, but I know that this is what the Lord has for me, and the excitement is bubbling up yet again. So I am glad to go. I'm glad to go and do God's plan, and it may feel like I'm going to Nineveh, but you know, I just know that God's gonna do some amazing things. He's giving me a verse to hold on to that I'm gonna read. It's the same verse or verses that Jesus read in Luke 4 when he started his ministry. He was quoting from Isaiah 61, the first 2 verses, and I'm going to read the first 3. The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness for the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn and provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the display of his splendor. I really just believe that that's the Lord saying this is like your purpose. This is my purpose, and what he's called me to do is to go and just be his light, to be there with those that are mourning and brokenhearted, and just go and empower them through education and just see what God wants to do. So I answered, why Morocco? What am I doing? How do I feel about it? And then I get asked a lot, when will I be back? So I will be back December 16th for Christmas. I get to have 2 weeks of a vacation. So I'm coming back to spend some time with family and friends. And my contract is for a year. But I really don't know. I may go for a year and decide to come back and just teach in the States, but I highly doubt that. This is something that like I said, I've been working towards my whole life. And so it's really weird to just start this season where I don't have the next 10 steps planned out. But it's really exciting just to know that I'm in a place where I can say, here I am, Lord, send me. And he is sending me, and I'm just gonna go and let him lead. So I ask that you will continue to be praying for me and with me, that you'll join the journey. I've kind of been having my prayers focused on these like 5 P's, that I will have God's presence, his power, his protection, his provision, and his peace. And really it's 6 P's, because also I want to be able to touch God's people. And so I hope that you will pray those things with me, and that you'll just stay in touch, because hopefully this can be the start of a new vlog or just a way to stay in touch. I will have Wi-Fi, and that means I'll be able to FaceTime, use Facebook, Instagram. I can keep making videos, and I'm so excited. # Moroccanit out.